Happy Scrappy Wednesday. I'm sorry that my bullet journal setup for May is not quite ready yet, but I thought I gotta have something up for you guys today, so I'm doing another card tutorial for a dude. This one's actually for my brother-in-law's birthday. It was a couple days ago, so I'm not exactly the best sister-in-law ever, but I digress. Found out from my sister that his favorite color is like a foresty green, so that is why we went with this kind of like rugged style look. To keep it as masculine as I could, I found some really dark, rustic type of earthy tones and tried to find as much green in my collection as possible. But sadly I only had these two sheets, but it ended up working really well with these browns. The card stock that I'm using right now honestly was quite difficult to rip, so that took me a little bit of extra time to kind of like get that tear there. Added some more random dark paper and did a whole bunch of ripping. And typically when I start these cards, I usually find a card on Pinterest as like some kind of inspo, so I have kind of a guide, especially if I'm going through an artistic block like I currently am. However, with this one, I didn't have the similar supplies that this inspo had, so I really had to just kind of ride with whatever wave I decided to go with. I definitely didn't have a plan. So this is a good example of what you can do if you feel like you have no real guidance. Just rip a crap ton of paper, and then you don't have to worry too much about how many embellishments you need, or if you barely have any. I really just focused on the paper here. And I did a lot of crimpling and crumpling compared to other cards I've shown before, just to really keep that more masculine, rugged, not perfect looking feel as much as possible. So I really just played around a lot and continued to distress and all these pages together and just played with the different designs. Sadly, I can't really give much else description of what I did because that's basically all I did. Like, I just played around and was a little more patient with myself, considering I was kind of struggling this week with artistic flares. So I'm still happy with how it turned out at the end, but yeah, forgive yourself if you're not feeling like it's going well. Because eventually it always does come together. So with this piece, I actually ripped off an old envelope that I got a card way back in 2014, and I liked the colors of it, so I didn't actually have to build this together. But the lady who did make that for me that long ago, she's really into this type of style, so I thought it would work the best with this kind of card, and I ended up just ripping it off the envelope, and I'm surprised it all stayed together as well as it did. But those flowers there also are actually cutouts. It's from a Tim Holtz line. I forget what the cutout that she used was for, but it's like a die cut thing. I think you need a machine to make the actual lines if you didn't want to like cut them with scissors on your own. But you basically cut this huge loop and you wrap around and glue as you turn together to make paper flowers. And she used to love doing that because it saved her so much money. However, I am very impatient when it comes to these cards sometimes, so that's why I prefer just buying flowers and using scraps of broken yarn or broken rusted bracelets and stuff for these kind of looks instead of making my own paper flowers. But I'm glad I had these paper flowers because realistically most of my cards that I do for other people, they're not really in the masculine colors, so I didn't really have any other opportunity to use these paper flowers until this card today. And the yarn that I'm actually using, I remember it was something from some shopping bag. Yeah, I just decided, I was like, oh, yep, that's a rope I could probably use for something eventually. So I did a lot of tearing on the edges to make it look more like a yarn that you would see on like a shipwreck, and which is also why I ended up putting in those skulls there as well. And I found this old dark green ribbon too, just to bring out some more of the green paper. these little embellishments here. The only one that I actually bought was that birdhouse that's made out of wood. The other ones, it's all just random knickknacks, scraps, and the stars, those are from old necklaces that I've accumulated over the years. So those kind of things are really good. So if you, next time you Marie Kondo your stash, anything that looks broken or anything, save it for a card, and then you can have some extra sentimental value and use too. So we don't have to keep buying new things, we gotta keep reusing the old stuff. And to secure the chain there, I used only as little possible of Fabri-Tac, because if you use too much, it's just gonna like goop everywhere, and that's never cute. But before you do any of these gluing of chains or any of your embellishments or any of the ribbons, always test out where you think it's gonna look the best first before gluing, because trust me, if you let the glue dry even a little bit too much, it can really ruin your card. So it's best to test out the placements before you even go ahead. And to add the finishing touch, I used the Black Soot Distress ink from Tim Holtz as well. And voila, there is the finished card. I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little tutorial, and I'm going to do my best to get the May setup done for next Wednesday. I've been really struggling with this theme. So I'll do my best to get it out, but it'll definitely be up really soon. Promise.